Hi there, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great week so far and that you have some fun plans coming up this weekend to look forward to. This video, I'm going to do something completely different. This is a Q&A video. I've been asking and receiving a lot of questions and feedback in the comment box, and I so appreciate it. But what I haven't done is made a video answering the question. So this video is a Q&A and it's all about you. Before I get into the 6 questions that I'm going to answer, I just wanted to thank you for being a loyal subscriber. It's so fulfilling for me to be able to provide the content and answer your questions and really hear about how well you're all doing, or even hear your struggles so that I can support you even more. So I just genuinely want to thank you for being a loyal subscriber to my Engaged at Any Age channel. So let's jump right in with the first question. The question is how to release attachment to the end result. And this subscriber said she really wants to stay out of the mindset of attaching to an end result. And I'm telling you, ladies, this is one of the hardest things to do in life, because we love to know an outcome, because we want to control everything that's happening, because we feel safer when we're in control. But we don't get a crystal ball. We don't get to know the outcome of any situation in life. And so I'd like to teach all of you to embrace the law of detachment. So the law of detachment is all about releasing attachment to the end result while simultaneously enjoying and engaging and staying present in the now while things are unfolding. I know, easier said than done. Just first of all, awareness is the key to everything in life. That's your first step to releasing the attachment. Just being aware that we don't get to know. But you do have the ability with practice to develop the skill that keeps you present in the now where all your power is, and relinquishing simultaneously your attachment to some outcome. So what happens when we attach to outcome, and you've probably heard me say this many times, we turn our attention to the outcome we want and we're missing out on what's happening right here. Can you see how I'm looking away? That's actually exactly what you're doing energetically. You ask for something and then you look at it and you look at it and you look at it. It's almost like planting a seed and then going over and digging it up and going, are you growing? Do you need more water? What do you need from me? And in that process of digging up your seed and looking at it, you are taking your focus on the now where all of your power was, where things are unfolding. And so detaching from outcomes of the law of attachment we call is dancing in the rain mastery. So you got to continue to dance in the rain, but you have to ignore the fact that it's raining. Basically, that's it in a nutshell. How do you do this? What's the real practical steps to actually do this? What are the mechanics? You need to become self-aware. You need to stay and practice being present in the now. Because what happens is you ask to have a beloved in your life, a soulmate, your one, your special person, your partner, whatever you want to call this relationship that you want to manifest. And that's the most important thing that you want. That's your vision. You create the vision that you want, but all of your focus needs to be in the action steps that will take you to the vision, to the outcome that you want. And because that's how the law of attraction works. It works with focusing on the action steps. You can't take your focus and constantly be looking at your outcome, which is your vision, because again, it takes you off point on your action steps of what you need to focus on. And another really big benefit is staying focused in the now is the fact that there's so many signs that your guy is sending you, or that you're picking up from dating, that you can learn about yourself in this process of dating. I mean, you'll have a date, you'll find out that you don't like this. Well, the more you know that you don't like, the more you know that you do like. So you're continuing to refine the now and what that means to you, all along knowing and trusting and having faith and believing that the outcome that you want is going to happen, and just recommitting, gently pulling yourself back to the now. Every time you notice you've wandered and have drifted into an unconscious place, thinking about the future, worrying about the past, you have to practice. It's a skill that you can learn if you practice. And the benefits are, there's so much happening in the now. Your guy's in the now. He's sending you messages. There's signs everywhere. But if you're not focused in the now, you'll miss those signs. It really help fast track you further on your ability to attract your soulmate. So it's a practice of staying in your body, body, of anchoring in the now, and not letting your focus drift to the thinking that your mind's always going to be throwing up, like what happens this and what happens if he does this, and you have to ignore those. So I'm going to give you a little tool, and then I'm going to move on to the next question. Pretend that you're eating corn on the cob. So you're sitting on a picnic bench and you're eating corn on the cob, right? And you're chewing away, and there's a fly buzzing around. This is the fly that represents the attachment to an outcome. So you don't, when you're eating your corn, you don't turn to the fly and go, get off my corn. You don't do that. You go like this, right? You just wave it off and you just keep eating. Well, that's what I want you to remember, this metaphor. When you're focused on your action steps and that little fly comes along, the one that says, hey, it's not showing up. I really want this to happen. I want you to just energetically wave those thoughts off. Wave those thoughts off. Take control of your mind, ladies, and get rid of those thoughts as they come in. Don't turn and look at them. You don't need it. Make friends with those thoughts, but do not look at them, because they will take you off on your path, your fastest, shortest path, which is being in the now. Let's go on to question number 2. Thank you, Jackie, for this opportunity. Please help me to learn how. Give me a script to express a boundary. And I've created videos on how to protect your boundaries. Let me give you an example right now for the sake of this video, how to express a boundary. That's the question. And so I like to use metaphors, and in this one it's actually something tangible, which is my feather, right? We want to set a boundary. If you can imagine how gentle this feather is and how soft it is, that's how you can hold boundaries with men. Unless you're being abused in some way, you can always use your feather. The hammer only comes in when your boundaries have been violated in a way that is completely unacceptable, like any form of abuse, verbal, etc. But if you're dating and your date wants you to have another drink, stay out later, wants to call you later, is texting you too much, any of these things, you can just use your feather to create that boundary. And I'll give you kind of a one-size-fits-all script that will help you with this. And so always starting off with, what would make me really happy? So using that phrase, kind of prefacing your boundary, man's really eager to make you happy. So he's already going to be eager to comply with whatever request you have. What would make me happy is if we talk tomorrow. I'm getting ready to go to bed and I need my beauty sleep, and I'm much more clear and focused in the morning, and so let's talk at 10. So just asking him to do something to make you happy, and then always starting off with a positive. So say something happens that isn't agreeable. He wants to reschedule your date and you're disappointed. So you can say that. You can say, oh darn, that's so disappointing, but then I want you to say, I completely understand. Next time, if you can give me a little more notice, I would really appreciate it. But I have Friday and Saturday. How does that sound for you? You're not shooting him down altogether, but you're telling him exactly what you need. And communication is key here. It's so important to communicate, but come from a place of curiosity and of gratitude when you can, because it's just going to be so much more receptive, these boundaries that you want to hold, when you come from curiosity, from gratitude, from understanding, from seeking to understand. Boundaries go over so much better. Or you could say something like, I need your help in understanding what your intentions are with all these texts. As much as I enjoy connecting with you this way, I would much rather meet you in person. So what do you have in mind? And so do you see how much more gentle and just non-threatening these 3 ways to protect a boundary, to hold a boundary, to ask for what you want and get it? Let's move on to question 3. Can you do a video about how to get a man that I've been dating exclusively for over a year, who talks about me in his future, but I have no ring? I know his family and friends. He's never been married, treats me very well, but I'm wondering if the ring will ever come. So the question is how to find out if he will marry me. When things have gone for a substantial amount of time, like a year, that I would say that's a substantial amount of your precious time. So when things would have gone for a long time, it's really important that you set an appointment for a conversation. So setting an appointment just shows respect for his time, and it also means that you're not going to corner him, in a time when it's not convenient for him, or when he's less likely to answer questions. That's why setting appointments are so effective. And so here's what I recommend for you. Any of you watching that have been dating somebody for a while, setting an appointment now. This only works if you're ready to move on. And this isn't about setting ultimatums. This is about, you know in your heart that you can't go on any longer without being married. You've done some self-inquiry. You've done some soul searching. You know that your life would be better without him in it. It's a risk that you need to take to get what you want. The bigger the risk, the bigger the gain. This is a big risk because after a year, you don't know how it's going to go. But he's only going to be apt to follow through and step up even more to commit to you if he knows that you are serious. You cannot have this conversation if you have one foot in and one foot out. And so he has to see that you have certainty about this conversation. And so how the conversation goes is, can we talk tomorrow? I wanted to talk to you about something that's been on my heart. And he might say, what do you want to talk about? Say, well, what I want to talk about is when we're going to get engaged. Why don't you just say it? Have the courage to say things like that. Why can't you just speak your truth? I really want to encourage you all to speak your truth. And he might want to just talk about it then and there when you say, I want to talk about when we're going to get engaged. Or you could say, I want to talk about when we're going to move in together. Or I want to talk about the future. I want to talk about our vision for our future. And if you want to play it safe, just say, I want to talk to you about our vision. I have some fun ideas I want to talk to you about. So when you sit him down, you're just going to come out and be very direct. Men really prefer that you're very direct. And so just to start with, first of all, thank you. Always come from gratitude. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me about this. This has been on my heart to bring up. And even say, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous right now to do this, but I want you to know that I am so happy that this last year has been the most amazing year. And I love your family. I love spending time with you. I love all the special things that we've been doing. And even, just hanging out, watching TV. It's been really an incredible year. That being said, I'm just can't help but wondering where this is going. I mean, it's been on my heart to spend my life with you, and I know we've talked about it. If you have, you can mention that. But we haven't really done anything about it. What would make me really happy is if we got engaged and set a date sometime in the future to solidify our love. What do you think about that? And then that's it. Get really quiet and hear him out. Do not interrupt him when he answers, and ask him for an answer. Now, he may skirt around it and say, I'm not ready to answer that question. I don't know how I feel. I would ask you to press a little further by saying something like, for the level of intimacy that we share, I really feel that I deserve microscopic honesty from you. If you need to think about it, that's fine, but I really want to talk about this maybe in a week. We can both think about what this would look like for us and share some more next week. Does that work for you? So you want to put a little pressure on. First of all, like I just said, for the level of intimacy that you share, it's a boundary violation if he doesn't answer your question. Now, a lot of times when men don't answer that question, it's because they don't want to lose you. They like the status quo. They love having you in their bed, in their life, and they don't want to have to go to the next level. And they have their reasons. Find out what they are. Be more concerned with his reasons. They could be something you had no idea. Maybe he's been hurt in the past. He's never told you about something that happened because it's been so painful for him. So stay open, stay curious. And when he gives you his answer and it's not what you want to hear, thank him. Tell him you need time to think about what he shared, but you appreciate his honesty. It means everything to you. And that's one of the things you love about your relationship. It's a rock and a hard place, girls, but you have to have courage. Relationships can be very hard, but they're harder when you are in the dark and you don't have the courage to speak your truth. Let's go on to question number 4. And she said, it's difficult to be low maintenance. When men meet me, they like how I look, but it takes a lot of work. I have to do my hair, makeup, exercise, and watch what I eat. If they want someone low maintenance, they should not expect a woman to look good for their age. I disagree completely. And here's why. So the question is how to not be high maintenance. So basically when I say don't be high maintenance, I don't mean with your looks, hair, makeup, nails. And sure, yes, it takes time. It took me over an hour to do my hair, makeup, put on the lashes, do everything, set up my video set and make this video for you. It's several hours into it by now. But guess what? That's on us, right? Nobody makes me do this. I want to do it. You know who I do it for? I do it for me. I enjoy doing my hair and makeup. I enjoy coming to the videos more polished, more together, setting an example. So I would invite you to start to embrace and enjoy the process of putting yourself together. Yeah, it's way more work for me now that I'm getting older. I'm telling you what, you can probably relate to it. Things are heading south fast, and I have to take extra steps to, you know, to prop everything back up. But I choose to do it. I don't have to do it. I choose to. So you don't have to do those things, but you can see the benefit of doing them. And so how do I not be high maintenance? Well, high maintenance isn't about your look. And I know, again, it takes time. It's about high maintenance women are all about drama. They're all about huffing and puffing and rolling their eyes. You know, oh, you're sitting at the table and he does something. You roll your eyes. You haven't developed good communication skills. Or you make sounds. And all of these behaviors will have a man draw a conclusion that you're high maintenance. So high maintenance is more about, you don't have a carefree attitude. You can't go with the flow. You don't know how to have fun. Everything is hard for you. And maybe it is hard for you, and that's something you should really look at. So low maintenance to me is all about, you know what? I don't have to make these videos. I don't have to do my hair and makeup, but I choose to. I'm not a victim. I choose to do everything in my life. Nobody makes me do it. I do it because I want to, because I like the fulfillment that I get from helping women. And if you like the feeling you get from men complimenting you on your look, then there's your thanks, right? And that's not about being high and low maintenance. That's just a choice. So choose to be fun. Choose to go with the flow. Choose to look at every situation as an opportunity to learn. Find the silver lining in every situation that you're in, because that, my friend, is what men are looking for. That's wisdom. And wisdom wins over looks every day. Well, okay, maybe they're neck and neck, but just really start to embrace the getting older and all the wisdom that comes with it, and start to utilize your wisdom, your voice, and your looks by spending extra time so that you feel confident, you feel good, and you can come across as low maintenance. Okay, let's move on to question number 5. How to let go of my previous toxic relationship. So she's saying that she's in a wonderful relationship. She's afraid that she's sabotaging her current wonderful relationship because she has not let go of the wrongs, the memories, good and bad, that have plagued me and hurt emotions. And so I know all of you watching this can relate to this. I certainly can still, because our mind has recorded every painful experience that we've ever had, and it quickly brings those up, especially when we get into new relationships, because it's trying to prevent us from experiencing any more painful relationships. But what ends up happening is it reminds you of these painful memories in it, and it causes an emotion to kick in and take you out of the now, and you start looking at the negative experience that you had and comparing. The mind loves to compare this relationship with the past relationship, and that's visible to your partner. Your man can see it when you go unconscious into your past memories and hurts. And so you have to embrace forgiveness. Forgiveness is a self-protection mechanism. Forgiveness allows you to move on, okay? It allows you to release the toxicity of what happened so that it doesn't affect you in a negative way. It's not about excusing or forgiving negative and unconscious acts by other people. It's not about condoning or excusing them. It's just about recognizing that you have no control over retribution. That is not your job. Leave that up to God, the universe, whatever your higher power is. What you have control over is removing the hook, that hook that's in your mouth, so that you can swim away. It has nothing to do with the perpetrator. And I know that's hard to do, especially when there's been really big, painful experiences. But the consequences of non-forgiveness is so steep and is so grave to new relationships that you will sabotage a new relationship. Just invite you to practice forgiveness. It's a self-protection mechanism. It's going to help you to really be in the now, and just, use this as a way to just bring more presence to all of your experiences. And so just use that corn on the cob metaphor, ladies, when you're in your relationship and those flies, those thoughts about past relationships, and you feel that emotion begin to well, just wave those thoughts up. Take a breath. The breath is in the now. Ground yourself and get back to all the wonderful things that are happening right here that you do have control over in the moment. It's a skill set that might take a lot to master, but start practicing now, and I promise you'll see results right away. All right, final question. Now, before I cover this question, please subscribe to my channel. And again, don't forget to like and comment and ask questions in the comment box so the next time I make a Q&A video, I can answer your question specifically. Okay, let's cover the last question. How to not give your power away to men. So basically, she feels too vulnerable and she feels like she's giving her power away. And basically what I'll say to this is, how to not give your power away is all about not expecting a man to be your everything. So I think what happens is we have this belief that when we get into a relationship, start dating, that a man is responsible for our happiness, is responsible to read our mind, is responsible for fill in the blanks for so many things. It's a very childlike behavior. It comes from our childhood where somebody else was actually responsible for our happiness. However, as empowered women and as adults, you have the ability to chart your own course, to make sure that you make choices that support your happiness. When you give up your power, you're actually turning over the reins of your life to a man and saying, I need you to fix me. I need you to make me happy. I need you to do X, Y, Z so that I can be happy. But men don't want that job. They do not want that job because they're responsible for their own happiness. So anytime you feel like he did this to me or he made me do this, those are very disempowering statements because they come from a victim mentality, meaning that you made me do it. Well, nobody can make you do anything and nobody can make you feel anything. I feel statements. I felt when you did this is a more empowered way to take your power back. When you did this, I felt. When this happened, I felt. I don't like it when you. What would make me happy is if you. Just becoming more and more aware that happiness is an inside job. Everything you want in life, it can be yours if you can take responsibility for your happiness. And it starts here. Pay more attention to those inner urgings. Pay more attention to those disturbing feelings. They are your friends. Your feelings are your friends. They come with messages about what's going on inside. What's happening externally is a direct reflection of what's going on internally. So get real curious about how you feel, where it comes from, and what you can do to show up in a more empowered way. And I promise you'll stop giving your power away less and less as you become more intimate with yourself. So, ladies, I hope this helps you. I hope it answered a lot of these questions that applied to so many of you. And just know I'm sending you all so much love, and I will see you in the next video.
Let me feel your love again. 'Cause I've been running round in circles, screaming out your name. Take me to a different place. Just the two of us and we can stay up all night.